board. Let's go brush our teeth. I love it. I love it. Dr. Christy Hall is a board certified holistic nutritionist and founder of Living Well Nutrition in Loveland, Colorado, with a PhD in holistic nutrition and advanced certifications in natural health. Christy specializes in uncovering the root cause of chronic illness, including mental health issues. She uncovers the root cause of chronic illness through functional testing and personalized nutrition strategies. She works with clients facing autoimmune conditions, hormone imbalances, digestive issues, even genetic conditions and chronic fatigue, guiding them toward healing with whole foods, targeted supplementation, and lifestyle changes. Welcome to Naturally Inspired. How are you, Dr. Hall?
Oh, well, I'm celebrating the end of the week. How about you?
Same. And it's rainy in our neck of the woods today. It's kind of nice.
Kind of cold.
Yeah. Fall is coming. But, it's nice to cool down once in a while. That's for sure. Yes. I want to talk to you about what you got going on there at Living Well Nutrition, because detoxing is a buzzword. Right? It's a buzzword. So tell me a little bit about, how do I know if I need a detox?
Well, let's see. If you have a breath and if you were born in the United States and you haven't detoxed yet this year, it's due, right? So the U.S. government has been running tests on quote unquote healthy people for 25 years and looking at the toxins in their bloodstream. And guess what? We're always toxic. Always. Yeah. I mean, we haven't toxins, they've been fairly steady over the last 20 years, but we are the most toxic people on the planet of any country that tests their population. And they're testing quote unquote healthy people. And so we all walk around thinking, oh, I'm so healthy, everything's great. And then, you turn 50 and it's like, oh my gosh, now I've got, coronary artery disease, or I'm a stroke risk, or I've now got type 2 diabetes, or fill in the blank, depression. Take a look at the crap that's been floating through your bloodstream for the last 30 years and see if it might have something to do with your health, your chronic health conditions.
So can you explain how you're able to measure exposure to nano and microplastics in the body?
I'm so glad you asked. It's a blood test, and it's a very simple blood test. And I was just exposed to this for the first time in April of this year. I did not know about it. I didn't know that we could test for microplastics in our blood. And I went to the National Association of Nutrition Professionals conference, and they were there, and they did blood tests on anyone that wanted to do a blood test. And then they had us take a supplement. And it's a pre-digested probiotic that helps to reduce plastics in your body. And then at the end of 30 days, you retest to see, did you have a change in the number or the amount of plastics in your bloodstream? And it was so cool. So I had plastics, measurable plastics, and I think I know where they came from, and we can talk about that.
Okay.
Took that supplement. It was so easy to take, just a couple of pills at bedtime every night. And then I retook my test at 30 days and no measurable plastics in my bloodstream.
Wow. Where you got me curious now, because I know how clean you eat and I know your lifestyle. So I'm like, where were you getting plastics from?
So it totally ties into the last joke you told.
Oh, no.
So after working all day and talking to people all day, I'm on my way home. And the first thing I do when I go home is I kiss my husband. And I don't want to kiss him with day old breath, right?
Right.
So I kept gum in my car, and I would just pop gum in my mouth, chew gum for 5 or 10 minutes and spit it out. But gum is a major source of microplastics.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
Let's just add it to the list.
Right? Right? I know. I was pretty, that's just so disconcerting. So now it's like, well, I need to get a toothbrush and toothpaste and just keep it here at my desk and brush my teeth before jumping in the car.
So what are some of the ways that nanoplastics and microplastics impact our health over time?
Oh, gosh. Well, thankfully, researchers have been watching and measuring and looking at, okay, is our microplastics a problem or nanoplastics? And if so, where are they going? And they've been looking at liver tissue, looking at brain
Okay.
tissue. And of course, we're having to look at people who are deceased, right? And
Mm-hmm.
why did they die? And what we see is people that have cognitive issues like cognitive decline, Alzheimer's type issues, they have a lot of plastics in their brain. In
So
fact,
it crosses the blood-brain barrier.
yeah, it does. It does.
Oh no.
There was a research study that came out, and it told how many, how much by weight plastics were found in the brain. It was equivalent to a plastic spoon or a credit card. And, you think that's a lot of junk that doesn't
Yeah.
belong there. But that's not the only place plastics land. They land, like I said, in your liver. They can land in your kidney. They can land in your testes.
And
So
this is why we're seeing.
we've got men whose swimmers are not swimming, and I think this probably has a lot to do with it. And so, when you're having fertility problems, there's a lot that you want to do, but now we need to add detox microplastics to the list.
And so plastics, I immediately, when you say men, I'm thinking like fast food containers and stuff.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know, because like isn't even the inside of these like paper cups, isn't that even coated with wax or some sort of plastic as well? And I would think, stop by the local corner store and you get yourself a big drink every day,
Yeah.
and that's going to add up, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we're a microwave generation, right? So many people are using their microwaves for preparing food. You get a frozen meal and you pop it in your microwave. Well, that container usually is plastic. We're heating it up. We're heating our food in it. It's just a really bad move.
Yeah. So a quick swap we could do is just don't do that, right? Even if you're buying plastic stuff that's in plastic, because I know it's hard. You can request your meat though at the butcher, you can request to get paper, seafood, whatever you're buying or whatever. If you're not buying from Pumpkin Creek Ranch, go ask for the paper. You can do certain things to minimize it.
Right.
I always say, don't get crazy, right? Because these things can turn into OCD.
Oh, yes. Yes, they can. They can. And so people are like, don't freeze food in plastics. I kind of have a hard time with that one. It's like, go ahead and freeze your food, especially if you can freeze it like on a cookie sheet or something, and then dump it in your plastic bag and then take it out of the plastic bag when you're ready to thaw it. I think, even if you're buying bacon at the store, it comes in plastic, right? So
Hmm.
one of the first things we do is we just take the plastic off, rinse, pat it dry, wrap it in paper.
There you go. Yeah, you can change it when you get home. And it's a little hack, your produce lasts way longer when you take it out of the plastic bags, right?
Right.
I have paper bags that I just put in my drawer, like old lunch sacks, and I'll
Yeah.
just put my stuff right in there if it comes in plastic. I try not to buy it in plastic, but if I have to, that's what I do. And it lasts longer anyway. Your produce lasts longer. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about detox pathways. We got a
Okay.
couple minutes before we go to break. So in
So
your
fun.
yes,
So fun. So
yes.
plastics, we don't detox plastics like we detox other things.
Oh no.
It's a different kind of detox. So when you've got
Okay.
heavy metals in your body, you want to be using, like ionic foot baths where you're doing negative and positive ions. You want to do things like zeolite, that help to attract like a magnetic pull to those heavy metals that are released from the body. So
Mhm.
you can pull out heavy metals. Not so much with plastics. It's more like a diffusion. So the key, step one, obviously, is reduce your exposure to the degree possible. Like get rid of the chewing gum. Also, by the way, get rid of tea bags, loose leaf tea only, tea bags,
Okay.
microplastics, nanoplastics in
Even
your
the organic ones?
even the organic ones. Even the
Oh,
organic ones. So loose leaf tea only. Get a little metal tea diffuser. So step one is reduce your exposure. Step two is remove it from the bloodstream. If it's floating through your body, you got to get rid of that first. Then the organs will begin to release the plastic.
Oh my goodness. So they actually, you have to coerce them out, so to
Yeah.
speak.
So reduce
Okay.
it from, so your blood and your organs. If it's a
Hmm.
lot in your blood, it's going to collect in your organs. Reduce what's in the blood, and the organs will start to release.
It
Right.
makes perfect sense because I always say, like, everything that your body is doing is for your survival because it knows nothing else but to keep
Right.
you well. So it's holding on to those until it's safe to let them into the bloodstream. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. When we come back, we'll pick up with Dr. Christy Hall. You can give her a call at 970-966-8419. Visit livingwellnutrition.com. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned. Taking notes here, learning from Dr. Christy Hall. I did not know that about my tea bags. I thought if I was organic, I was okay. And you know what? I even have one of those loose leaf tea things, and I have loose. I got to get rid of the tea bags now. Taking notes here, listening to Dr. Christy Hall. Visit livingwellnutrition.com for more information on all of the work that she does. Welcome back, Dr. Hall. We were just talking about being able to detox our organs and whatnot. But I want to know about this program that you're offering because I know people that are listening are going to be like, I need to detox. Because, I ask people all the time, what do you think your toxic burden is? And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine, because like you said, you hit your 50s and you're like, it's been especially in the 80s. I mean, we didn't know anything
Right.
back then about this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So we are going to do a group detox class. And so it'll be just one night a week on Zoom, 4 weeks. And what I'm going to coach you on is how to prepare for detoxification. That means identifying everything in your environment that is toxic, right? You have to limit your
Wonderful.
exposure so you're not constantly just retoxing after you detox. So we
Right.
start with that on the first week, and then we talk about food. What is your food doing? Is your food toxic? Is it not toxic? We'll be talking about gum and tea bags and some of the other things. We'll talk about the quality of fats in your diet. So lots of details there. Then we're going to talk about what are those organs of detoxification and how do you support those organs through detoxification, right? So what are those foundational things that you need? I'm also going to go into all the things that you can take. No one needs all the things. A lot of people have things already
Right.
in their
Yes.
house, or they're just going to react better to certain things. And so we'll be talking about that. And then we talk about how to live that detox life moving forward.
Awesome. And how do people get signed
So
up for
they
this
can go to my
class?
website, livingwellnutrition.com, and sign up there. I know my web designer's been working on that today, so we'll see if that link is live yet. Or you can just call the office, 970-966-8419.
And because this is on Zoom, anybody can
Yes.
attend this, right? You don't have to be in
And
the,
we'll
yeah.
record it.
Okay.
So if
That's
you can't
awesome.
make it, we're going to be doing it on Tuesday nights from 5 to 6. If that's not a great time for you, it's going to be recorded. If you've got questions, you just email questions to us and we will answer those during the Zoom session.
Oh, that sounds perfect. You mentioned quality
Yeah.
fats. Okay. So is it true that we store toxins
We
in our
do.
fat?
Yeah, we do. And so when our detox pathways are not able to keep up with clearing those, they're going to store those toxins. And a lot of times belly fat is just stored toxins, right? So the body's going to protect itself, like you mentioned. And so, and there are toxins that we think of as water soluble. And Tammy, no, they're not. No, they're not. Because I've watched people and I've done enough blood testing on people. Like we said, glyphosate. Oh, glyphosate from Roundup, it's water soluble. You just sweat it out. No, you don't. You do not. I don't know
No.
why they think that, but I've tested loads of people, and it's not just to go sit in the sauna and you're going to get rid of your glyphosate. We have to work a little harder. We have to go a little deeper to move that out.
Now, talk to me a little bit about weight loss in terms of this idea of storing toxins. Does it inhibit weight loss when you're
Sure, it's going to
toxic?
inhibit because if your detox pathways are not able to safely get rid of those toxins, it's not going to let you, right? Your body's going to take care of you. That's its
Hmm.
job. And so it's not going to release those toxins until it's safe. And so that's going to mean making sure you've got all those micronutrients that you need, making sure you got a protein. I know you really harp on the protein. People that
I
go
do.
on these diets, that these quote unquote detoxes, and it's just, lemon water. That's not, I'm sorry, that
Yeah.
is, yeah,
Cayenne
that's not a
pepper.
detox. That's a
Yeah.
cleanse.
No.
Okay. And a cleanse has its place, but you have to have protein on board to detox. And then we need those things that are going to really pull those toxins out, right? And some people are going to do really well with
Hmm.
N-acetylcysteine. Other people, that's not going to be a great match for them, and they need to do something different.
And so inflammation too, I have read, and maybe you can confirm this, like people can carry up to like 10 pounds or more of just
Fluid.
inflamed
Yeah.
tissue. Yeah. So having this amount of microplastics in you, could that be the cause of,
It's certainly going to
inflammation?
contribute. I mean, anything that's in your body that doesn't belong there is going to contribute to that inflammation. And I just had someone in my office just this week who walked in and she said, I've gained 20 pounds and I'm just puffy everywhere. Well, okay, that's not a great sign. And it's good that she's taking action, right? Rather than, well, I'm getting older.
Hmm.
No, it's not getting
Yeah.
older.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that when people think that this is just part of
Yeah.
getting older. Weight gain is part of getting older. Feeling
Fatigue, right.
fatigued is part of
Fatigue. It's
getting
like, no,
older.
that's a red flag that something is out of balance. Let's fix it.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about prevention. What can people do? Say they do your detox class, they learn. Will that help with prevention? And I always say ABD, always be
Right. It's
detoxing.
so true. So yeah, so that week one, we're really going to talk about identifying all this stuff. And so when you join that class, you're getting a 50-page ebook and there's charts in there. It's showing you, okay, this is how you're going to inventory everything that's in your garage, inventory the things in your laundry room, inventory the things under your kitchen sink, and inventory the things that are in your bathroom. Are they safe? Are they not safe? How do you find the safe products? So we'll be talking about that. I've got some suggestions, some easy swaps for folks to make it simple for them. That is a process, going through that. You could literally spend a month or two just on that. But I want to give people the tools that they can do this on their own at a pace that they can handle.
I love that because it can be overwhelming and also it can be
Yeah.
costly, right? If you feel like you have to throw everything out and start from fresh, you feel that's overwhelming. So I love
So
that
I
you
want to
do
share
that.
something with you real quick. This was so
Yeah.
powerful. And you talk about, people don't want to waste money. They don't want to throw products away. At a conference, I was at the IFM conference in May. There were researchers there who had been working with people with ALS. Now, we all know if you get the diagnosis of ALS, you're going to be dead rather soon. You're going to lose all function of your body, and that's the end. They took people that were already diagnosed with ALS. One guy in particular was in a reclining wheelchair on an oxygen tube, could not eat, could not breathe on his own, could not walk. They went in to these people's houses and removed all the toxic substances. They interviewed that man while he was on a walk down the beach. They were
Oh
reversing ALS,
my
and they
gosh.
said specifically you could not even have a herbicide in your garage.
And some people, as I've learned from you, right? We have these genetic SNPs in our genetic makeup that make us more susceptible to reacting to different chemicals. It's what bothers one person doesn't necessarily bother the
That's
next. Is
exactly
that
right.
correct?
That's exactly right. And we know the gene that you need to have working to get like glyphosate out of your system. And if that gene's not working, I guarantee you're collecting glyphosate because it's in our air, water, and on our food. And so we can support that and get that out of your system.
And you offer that as a service
Yeah,
too, don't
absolutely.
you? What do What does that look like? So when you spit, I've done it, so I know exactly how it works. But when you get your results back, what information can you tell people after you've read that?
Yeah, we look at all of the detox genes. So we were looking at phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 detox pathways. We're looking at other things like your methylation pathways. We're looking at your vulnerability to inflammation. So we're looking at all of that. So we'll start taking kind of that bullseye view of what's going on with detox pathways, but then we're gonna zero out, right? We're gonna zoom out so that we get a bigger picture of what's going on with your health and where your weaknesses are.
And that's something separate from the detox stuff. I mean, that's a little bit different. But I think this detox program that you're offering is an excellent place to start. And are you judgmental, Dr. Christy Hall?
I am not judgmental, because before I went to nutrition school, I was drinking a 6-pack of Coke a day, and my breakfast was Oreo cookies. So that's where I started, right? And then very few people start in a worse position than me.
I just like to make sure people know who they're talking to, because health can be kind of snooty. It can be kind of snooty. People, oh, you're doing this or you're doing that. And that's not the point here, right? That's not why we're called to do what we do. We want to help. We are empathetic. We know how the world is not set up for us to be successful with our health at all.
My vision is to see people have vibrant health so they can live their best lives. That's what I want.
That's awesome. Tell me again where people can connect to you. Give your website again.
And the phone number is 970-966-8419.
Livingwellnutrition.com, everybody. This is Dr. Christy Hall. Thank you so much for being on Naturally Inspired Radio today.
Tammy. Always good to see you.
Always good to see you. See you soon. Bye, everybody. We'll see you Monday. Thanks so much for joining us today.